Hello everyone, it's Robin here and welcome. I'm so happy to see you all today. So today we're diving into my happy planner here and we're gonna scroll back into my wellness section because I'm gonna be planning for the month of June. We're gonna be filling out the monthly layout, which has been working really well for a wellness section. Well, we'll show you. It's amazing. And I'm going to be pulling in some stickers from my Etsy shop. I have the Soft Florals collection. This is the June journaling kit, and I'm really loving all of these desert colors going on here. This has been a fun collection to use in my wellness section because it's soft and it's kind of cozy and it just feels like a warm hug, which is what I think wellness also should be about. So we're gonna be using these. I'm also doing this in collaboration with my friend Tracie over at Midwest Craft Chat. We were chatting a few weeks ago and she suggested maybe we start doing an ongoing collaboration with our wellness journals too, because maybe some accountability, doing things with a buddy would be helpful. Well, I completely agree. So I'm gonna put a link down to her video down below so that you can check that out when we're done. But in the meantime, let's flip the camera down and get to planning. I'm so excited to get this one started. Oh my gosh, getting into June here. So let's open this up. Oh, here is my spring mood board. And we're heading into June. Summer's gonna be here, so we need to make another one for summer. That'll be super fun. So I'm going back to my listen section. That's my word of the year, and that's also where I have all of my wellness setups. So for my wellness section, this is where I've been doing my currently page. I have May here, and I did pretty good filling this out. I didn't fill in this check-in area or these trackers, but then again, I also have this Archer and Olive journal that I was playing with, and I was doing some of that in here. So we're still a work in progress figuring out how we're gonna do it, but I did fill out my big and little moments already. I usually wait till the end of the month, but I was kind of filling it out as we went. For Mother's Day, we went to Six Flags. Oh, so much spinning. We were on this like mouse roller coaster. It just spun super fast, and that won't happen again. Remy showing me the door. So we were leaving, and Remy is 2, and Grandma and Grandpa were leaving, and Remy went to the door and was going, here's the door. There's the door. I mean, I can't do it. It was hilarious. Anyway, so we have all this fun stuff. We also got new patio furniture. Super fun. We've been spending a lot of time outside. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm going for with this monthly section. We get into June here, and we have a clean palette to work with. And that's what I'm gonna be using these stickers for. This is the June Soft Florals collection. This is the journaling kit. I think this will be a lot of fun. I also pulled in the extras from that kit where we have the deco sheet, we have some deco strips, and then some extra boxes in case I need them. Okay, let's get started. I think we're going to start with whiting out some of these headers because I'll be putting my own in, and while I'm covering this with stickers, they may show through, so we don't want that, right? We just don't want that. I'm going to cover this top priorities and right there. Okay, so now we have a nice clean slate to work with. I also pulled in these boxes here. This goes with this kit here, and this was a freebie I was sending out with the whole journaling kit. So it gives us some extra boxes to play with. Okay, let's get this started. So I'm gonna use these banners on here, and we're just gonna set it right up at the top to mark June. I can't believe we're already getting into June. I'm very excited. I'm totally into summer right now and all the fun summer things that are, possibly going to happen, right? So I want to put another one over on this side. So I'm going to use the one that I have here on the deco strip because it is the same sticker, the one at the bottom. And then we can put it right up at the top here so they match all the way across. The colors in this kit are really pretty. Lots of beautiful desert tones and florals, and it's just calming. Look at that. We are off to a great start. Okay, so now it's time to fill out some of these sections. So there's a lot of sections in this monthly layout, which has been working really well. So we have this section up here. I tend to use this for goals. This section here with lines and checklists, which I've been using for checking in. This area down here, I've been putting a quote I have this area here where I've been putting my monthly moments. So I put like 5 boxes. So that's been fun to fill out, because while you're doing wellness, which I think is mind, body, and soul, right? If you think of those 3 things, it's not just exercise, but also your well-being, your mental health, and feeding your soul and what you love to do. It's great to have all the things that you know you want to try to get done, but all the things that happen during the month, because that also leads that into my gratitude section, which is right here. I'll put some focus here, and then I do have trackers here. So that's kind of where we're going. So let's just start doing that. I'm going to use the boxes from the trio boxes, these header boxes, and we're just going to kind of just start putting them right at the top of here. So let me do this. It makes it easier for you to see and to get straight. So we'll just start setting these down. And I need to kind of think about what this month I want to focus on, and then also what this month maybe I want to track. Now these trackers, since this is June, there are 30 trackers here. And I could put something in. I've put stuff in before, like scrapbooking. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it every day. And you don't have to do something every day on these. It's just giving you a sense of how often did you do it during the month. There are some things that you want to maybe, because it's a habit tracker, you're trying to track habits and create habits. So maybe there are some things that you want to do every day to try to build that habit. But you can also use them for just to see how often are you doing it during the month. So I know sometimes we can get caught up on these things. Okay, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how I want to do this. So I have boxes there too, but I like using these smaller boxes. And I want to put my big boxes over here. Let's start doing this first, because this will add a lot of color, and then I'll know which color box I want to put in some of the other places. So I do like to use this corner here. These torn corners are a lot of fun. So I'm just going to place this one right here, and I'm using the dot grid as a guide to hopefully get it straight. There, that's pretty nice. And then I'll use this other one over in this area right here. I'm going to turn this upside down so I can see it, so that we can kind of set this up just like so. Okay, so we have a lot of this kind of terracotta color happening. And then I'll put this big box, because this will be a big pop of color. And this is going to go over in my Big and Little Moments section. And I'm just going to place it where it feels right. Again, using the dots as a guide. So we have some color here. And I do have my Big and Little Moments and my gratitude words there. So I want to remember those are there. Well, let's do this next. So this is another inspirational quote. Look at this desert scene. Isn't that pretty? It says, live in the moment. Look at the cactus and a raging river. So we live in the Midwest right now, so we're not near any real desert. I used to live in Southern California. We got a lot of desert there. I'm going to kind of use this line. So it does kind of remind me of there, especially when we would go to visit Palm Springs. You know, you could always easily go to the desert when you were in Southern California. Okay, so a lot of these colors are kind of reminiscent of all of that. But this river reminds me of canoe trips, which we can take here. Even though it's not raging like through canyon things, it's going through greenery and forest, which is really fun. And I think we're going to do that this year. Again, super fun. Okay, I'm going to want to use all this. And I do want this quote here too. Where the flowers bloom, so does hope. So this is fun. And you know, I think I want to use one of these florals. Yeah, let's use these. I love these borders. They go all the way down the side of the sticker paper, which is 6 3/4 inches. I'm gonna go all the way over. I'm gonna cut that here in a moment. And then we can figure out where we're gonna place this quote. I like it to overlap just a bit, maybe right there. I'm going to leave this all the way at the edge for right now. I think that looks really cute. I want to put this other one down over on the other side. And I always have quandaries. So if I go all the way, it doesn't exactly go all the way. It goes in that box. I could stop it here, but if I do that, I need to bring it up. We're just going to do that. We're just going to bring it to this box and this line. And you know, it is all good. And I'm going to go to the very edge because I think that's pretty. I like to do it like this because it sections off these sections a bit. Okay, so I have a couple of extra little pieces here. We need to get some header boxes. We need to put in our boxes here and think about what we're going to write in these. Let's pull these boxes out here, and I do want to use, since this is a large brown, I want to use a lot of the green. Let's pull this green one, and I'm going to make it go this way because that's just a lot of fun. So I'm going to pick kind of a dot on here to play with. Right about there, right about there, there. Excellent. Look, makes it fun. And I could pull from here, but I could also pull from here because I think maybe we should use these boxes. So let's do, yeah, let's do one up here. And I like them to be a little not so matchy-matchy. Kind of go like that. And then let's do the same two colors again. And let's overlap these like this. Okay, let's do that. So we're going to go over with this one and then overlap it with this one like so. Or do I want to overlap it with the green one? I kind of want to overlap it with the green one. Let's pull the green up. And we'll make this one. I probably should have moved that over farther, but you know, it's okay. This is all good. So we have kind of a little gallery wall. Actually, let's pull this over. Then we can pull the bottom one over. We can do this. Okay. So we're just going to give it a little less space. Make sure I go down enough from that one. There. And we'll just kind of blend it a little more that way. And now we can move this bottom one over just a touch. So when it overlaps, it won't be completely on top of it. Just like so. There. Okay. That has a little more breathing room. And I like that. Nice. We could put this big and little moments header right in here. Always a nice little spot for it right in here. See where we can fit this in. Yes, I like that. I like that. And let's put this gratitude word down here, right in the center of this. We can leave this kind of clean and we'll just put this right on the line. No, I like that. And let's use these boxes for our headers. So we'll use this one up here. And I'm just going to kind of use this graph they have here to get it kind of straight. There, it kind of blends in, doesn't it? And I need one right here. Nice. It just finishes it off, right? And then we're going to put one. Okay, so I had a brief little interruption. I just talked with my daughter Holly on the phone. We're trying to make arrangements. I'm going over there tomorrow, and we were talking about our trip to Disney World coming up in a few weeks. So what I did was, while I was on the phone, is I moved these guys up a little bit so this had more room. And then I whited that out. Oh, and let's put these on. So on here, I'm going to put these flowers on here. Kind of mark this section off like this. Just put one for each day. Because there's 3 little flowers up here and that would look really cute. And then one right here. Oh, while we're doing that, let's just put the rest of these in. So I have this flower here. We need to put our decor in. I was going to start writing and I realized I didn't put the decor in. So let's put this guy right here to fill this space. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's pull some of these in. I need something here. I wonder if this will fit. This flower spray right here kind of fits. Let's put this little, I like this little brown deal. Kind of right over here. Like that. Let's put this little leaf kind of right in here. And then another one kind of right down here, just to fill some of those spaces in. I also want to use these to fill these in, so let me work on that. Okay, so now she's set up. She looks great. She looks great. So what I want to do now is take a moment to fill in some of these headers, and then I think I'm going to fill in what my goals are, and then what these are, and what my focus is. So I have my pens over to the side here. Let's work on the headers first. So I pulled in some micron, and then I pulled in this Muji. This is a very fine tip. I have an 03 micron and an 05. So we're just gonna see which one of these we want to play with. But let's go ahead and write down what our headers are going to be. And this is the 03 micron. So this one I want to do for goals. So we'll just write that right there. This one I do for check-in. And this one I want to be for focus. So what is it I want to focus on during the week? So I think what we need to do is start with our goals up here. I'm going to pull in 2 banner flags for this. And I'm going to put one right about here. And then I'm going to skip a spot and put one right about here. So when I make my goals, I'm really making it very loose. 2 very loose goals that I can break down. So I'm going to start with this. I want to, because for me, that's what the goals are going to be about. I want to. And these are going to be some of the same goals that I've been having. So let me just write these in. Okay, so here are my 2 goals that I have going on here. I want to feel better and be healthier. So we're doing that for mostly body. So that's the health part of wellness. And then the second is I want to make time for myself to do the things I love, because so easy is it to take that time away from doing the things that you want to do. So this is the wellness side in terms of the mind and the soul, right? You want to be happy in doing the things you love, but you also want to feel better. So I want to add both health and that in. So with this in mind as my goals, which have been my goals mostly throughout this year, I want to fill in what I want to focus on this month. So I have 3 areas here. So I want to focus on 3 things, because any more than that sometimes is too much, right? So let's just fill this out. Okay, so here's what I have right here. So I want to focus on, let's take some walks. So the weather's better, and Rod and I have been walking a little bit, and I want to just make sure I keep taking walks. Let's drink some water. Yeah, let's make sure we get all that water in, because it makes our skin feel good. It makes us feel better. And let's do some journaling. So health, and then this is that well-being thing. So I'm playing with my journals right now, and I really want to take time to do that. You hear me talk about wanting to take time for reading, journaling, and scrapbooking. So hopefully in June, my journaling and scrapbooking kind of will meld together a little bit, and reading will just kind of happen. But we're going to focus on these things. So with this in mind, let's go ahead and fill out what our habit trackers are going to be, because I think they're going to have a lot to do with this. And so what I wrote was walks water, and journal. So what I'll do is I can mark off the days that we take walks, and I'm not going to put a parameter on myself like it has to be a certain amount of time or whatever. If we go out and take a walk, it's getting a mark, just so that we get out and moving, because we want to feel, you know, happy, like we're being successful too. We don't want to bash ourselves, right? Water, if I'm drinking a substantial amount of water, and purposely that's going on there. And every day that I play with my journals, I'm going to mark it. And if I don't do it every day, that's not a big deal. I just want to see how often I'm doing it, because I want it as part of my focus and to be mindful of it and to do it. Okay, so let's get the planner and put this in. I love taking a moment before the beginning of the next month to gather my thoughts and to see what it is I want to do and accomplish that has to do with just me. I love that. This monthly layout makes it very easy to do that because of all the different types of spaces that are in here. So I am really going to look forward to filling it out this month also because it's pretty. And I love how it looks too. Again, I used the June Soft Florals kit from my Etsy shop. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. I'll also link down below Tracie's video from Midwest Craft Chat. She'll be doing some kind of wellness planning too, and I can't wait to see what she does because she gives me lots of great ideas, because she gave me the idea to start using this monthly layout for that, and I love that. What are you working on next month? Do you have any wellness goals that you're working on? I would love to hear about that in the comments below. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!